Welcome to another episode. We're here. We're here. That is two words people say usually when they arrive to a destination. We're here. You know, what was your favorite "we're here" moment? It's something I like to think about. I remember when I was, we're on this road trip. I don't remember where we were going, but man, I felt like that annoying kid who was saying, "Where are we? When are we gonna get there? Are we there yet?" And eventually, you hear the words "we're here," that's like celebratory. It could be a ride to Target, it could be a long road trip across the country, it could be we made it to your baseball practice, now get ready, and then you say you don't got your bag. That was also kind of something too. I remember as a kid, all right, hey, we're bringing you to practice, let's go. You're kind of like, oh man, I don't want to go to practice. Get up, get your stuff, and make it all the way to the field, which is usually like 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes away where it still feels kind of convenient to go because it's not that far, but also far enough where you don't want to turn around. And your parents always say, hey, where's your stuff? You're like, oh, it's right here. You get to the field. Oh, don't got my cleats. That's when parents lose patience, dude. Because they literally asked you, hey, do you have your stuff? And you said yes. But that's just the verdict of, I don't even know if verdict is the right word. That was me trying to use a word that I didn't need to use. Wasn't even really trying to sound smart, but it did come out. Anyways, though, shout out to the parents who had the patience with kids, man. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to all the moms out there who were patient. My mom was really patient about stuff like that. Like I've said before, one time I had to do that craft night thing, and she did not want to bring me to go get all the poster board and all that stuff, but she did. And the night before, that's always something you never try to do. Now that you get older, you try to avoid those kind of things. But yeah, shout out to my mom. She's amazing. She's actually doing great. And I also asked my mom to find me a diploma frame because apparently I can't do that on my own. There's a lot of things when you grow up I always ask your parents to do. Some people, hey, can you make me my dentist appointment? Me, I was making dentist appointments early. But, some people have their thing. And my thing is me asking my mom for a diploma frame. Because I don't know. She's, she just knows the size. I don't even know how she does this. But, yeah, shout out to all the parents out there. Anyways, let's get into this episode. I'm really excited to talk to you guys this week, man. There's been a lot of stuff been going on. Let's get in here with a little bit of music. And, yeah, I'm pumped to be here. So let's get this started. Feels good to be back. So like I've been telling you guys, I've been doing the TERO program. The TERO program's been going pretty good, actually. Actually, shout out to the people who were in there. For a while, when I first meet people, I try not to tell them that I have a pod right away. Because, there's a lot of people out there who are, kind of gloating a little bit. And that's not me. I try to stay humble, try to do my thing. And been meeting some cool people there. Shout out to people there. I saw Hudson actually just followed the pod. If you're listening, Hudson, man, keep it up, brother. Some people are doing some good stuff in there. So I'm doing like my own project, and seeing everybody else's like wood projects is fun. This is like the experience I didn't get to have going to college. Like you learn different things. And I'm not going to turn into one of those guys who like, oh, I went the blue collar route, whatever. I'm not going to turn into that. But I'll be honest, I have been buying some Carhartt stuff. It's nice to have some work clothes, man. That's one thing. If I could tell any of you guys who were kind of like maybe getting into construction, like I'm not saying I'm in construction, but I'm definitely doing a construction class. Just have a change of clothes on you, man. It's a big difference, man. You get dirty and stuff, you have a change of clothes. But really with anything, you can even say that for your job anywhere. Having a change of clothes is clutch. Say you're outside, watching kids or something, you're out in the rain playing basketball, something, you get wet, hey, you got to change your clothes. And I'm not necessarily saying you have to do that for everything, but that's something. And the reason I bring TERO up to you guys today is actually, so in our classroom, we actually get divided up groups. And in the groups, there's 3 different types of groups. So there's Group A that is responsible for cleaning up tools, sweeping up stuff, and all that kind of thing, right? Then there's Group B, who's in charge of like cleaning up like certain parts of the outside. Like, anyway, there's 3 groups that clean up certain sections of the place, and you all got to take turns leading. I'll just wait for this very obnoxious car to go by. So you guys all have to take turns leading, and there's some people in there who were saying, I don't know if I want to lead. You got to learn how to do that. You got to learn how to tell people what to do. I think I got good at that, being maybe an older brother, or maybe just having cousins tell me what to do. Anyway, I got addressed to clean the bathrooms with, I don't want to say all their names, but I got assigned a group, and we had to clean the bathroom. And dude, here's the thing about cleaning bathrooms. It's pretty simple if you just do it regularly. If you clean your bathroom regularly, it's not going to be that hard. But if you wait forever, like we did, probably 6 weeks in with a whole bunch of people in the classroom, it's going to get dirty. So we had probably the brute of cleaning the bathroom, right? So we get the cart that had all the spray stuff. We sprayed it down, made it look nice, whatever. And eventually I'm getting pissed off. Who in their right mind is ever happy cleaning a bathroom? I don't know if there's someone out there who is happy that cleans bathrooms. You're better than me. But me, man, I was getting frustrated for no reason. And frustrated in the sense of, they had 4 guys cleaning one bathroom. We did it quick. But still, those 5 minutes that we were in there's something that struck me. And with the part that strikes me, and I'll say this to everybody in the TERO class because, I'm cool with pretty much everyone in there. Actually, I could say everybody in there I'm cool with. Some of you guys got to sit down when you piss. Because, dude, it's fucking nasty sometimes. And that's the thing. Next time I see him, I'm about to be like, dude, look, if you can't stand and piss and make it in the fucking toilet, you better just fucking sit down. Because this is getting out of hand. And I know custodians probably think this stuff all the time, and, maybe just a little drop here, a little drop there, no one's going to know. Kick it to some ice under the fridge type thing with the piss, but that's not how it goes around here, especially when we got to clean it up. So we cleaned that up pretty quick, man. It was fast cleaning the bathroom with 4 guys, dude. Instant. Boom, boom, boom. I'll get this corner, you here. I'll wipe this. Boom. We got it. We took care of it. Did what we had to do. So that was good. Yeah, shout out to everyone in that TERO class, though. They're listening. Now you know. Sometimes you better just sit your ass down if you fucking can't make it in the urinal, dude. That's another thing. You know what? Like, I understand. There's aiming issues, people trying to make it in the toilet, whatever. But if you're at the urinal and you miss, come on, dude. Toilet, it makes sense a little bit. But the urinal, if you're missing, that's what urinals are made. You know what? Urinals are made for that. To make sure more precisely that you just make it in. I think. I don't know why they were made. Maybe it was less liters per flush or less something. I don't know. But anyway, it's been busy. My grandpa actually asked help to make a fence post, and we actually put our TERO skills to test, helping him out. And his biggest rule of thumb is, he was a carpenter for a long time. I asked him, what is like the biggest thing that you think we should learn? And I always kind of overlooked it, I'll be honest. And he said, knowing how to read a tape measure. I guess that's a big part of carpentry or any trade, is just learning how to read that. Because he's like, basically, you're going to be the guy who reads it off, and you got to read it off right. And you can get those you can get the certain measuring tapes that have the exact fractions on them, which are actually super helpful. But I think in the tests you don't get to use those. So I'm trying to learn how to use it without using it with those. So that's been good. So we built a fence, and building fences is rough a little bit, I'll be honest. I don't know if anyone's built a fence before, but it's kind of, if you build a good fence that's going to have a good sturdy foundation, you're going to have to do some work to it. So what we did is we, dug 2 feet holes, put the big piece of wood in there. I don't remember if it was as big like we nailed 2x4s together. Actually, I think it was 2x8s, and big fence post, and then we put some cedar planks in, and it looks good. I'm pretty proud of it. Me and my brother and Tosh did that, and that was fun. We got to learn some stuff, got to be out there with my grandpa, and we still have some work we have to do to it, but it's getting done. There's some power outages been going on, water leakage. It's been going around the res currently. That's definitely been something to kind of keep your mind about. If power is coming, man. When power goes out, what do? The biggest concern when the power goes out for me is not opening the fridge. And I didn't understand that because when I was a kid, power would go out. Be like, my number one priority was like, dang, how am I going to play a video game? How am I going to do this? How am I going to see? But if the power goes out for like 3 days, your fridge, you better keep it closed. That's just, you let out all that cold air, that stuff's getting out. And so, when your power goes out, be sure to be ready. Power outages, water leakages. I actually have like a water leakage actually under my sink right now. Don't know how to fix it, but got the bucket under there. That's always kind of something that helps you out a little bit. A whole bunch of reasons why I'm not calling it in, but that's definitely something I wouldn't mind doing. And here's my thing. I'll just talk to you guys out loud because that's what I'm doing. I've been looking at, different unions and stuff, and there's a whole bunch of different unions. There's electricians where they do electrician work. Plumbing does plumbing work. Carpentry does woodwork. There's painters. There's a whole bunch of other unions. But here's the thing about plumbing. And I would like to be a plumber. I think it would be a very useful knowledge. But dude, that dealing with shit is something I'm not really too fond of. And I'm sure not every plumber, I'm almost 99% sure every plumber in there don't care. I mean, they didn't want to deal with shit either. But it pays good. So I guess I'm no different than anybody else when I say that. Think about that, because I know there's some people out there who were like, oh man, I couldn't be a plumber, I couldn't deal with all the shit. It's like, who wants to deal with shit? Maybe there's that one weird dude who does like the shit. I don't know what the fucking his problem is. Jeez, I'm swearing a lot today. But, maybe it's to get the point across. Because, I don't think any plumber likes to deal with all that kind of stuff. Poop and, the word poop and the word shit, they definitely sound a lot different when they put more emphasis. I think swearing puts a lot of emphasis on things. Kind of like adding exclamation mark and stuff. But yeah, so that's my reasoning behind plumbing. I guess I'm not really too enthralled by the whole plumbing thing. Otherwise, Indigenous Peoples Day is coming up. That will actually be next Monday, which is going to be a good time. Indigenous Peoples Day, man, that's good. I think Indigenous Peoples, and here's the thing. I don't want to see no Indigenous Peoples Day and Columbus Day. We've been through this before. It's Indigenous Peoples Day now. Columbus Day had I don't know how many holidays where it was Columbus Day. It's Indigenous Peoples Day now, at least here in the Pacific Northwest, here in Seattle. Because I saw a sign that said Indigenous Peoples Day and Columbus Day. There's no and. Columbus and Indigenous, they shouldn't be in the same sentence no more. At least when it comes to a holiday. So if you're at some establishment and they say, hey, it's Indigenous Peoples Day and Columbus Day. No, it's Indigenous Peoples Day now. Because they were damn, when it was Columbus Day, they were really hyping it up. everybody all of a sudden likes Columbus because they were getting a day off. No, now you're going to start representing and understanding what went on. Maybe you guys need to learn some more history. Maybe you guys need to read a book. I think that's a big thing. People just need to restart sometimes. People need to learn how to fucking make the piss in the toilet seat. And people need to realize that it's Indigenous Peoples Day now. And all plumbers got to deal with shit. That's if anyone could say, hey, what did you learn on Dom's podcast today? Well, he swore a little bit more than usual. Plumbers have to deal with poop. Indigenous Peoples Day, not Columbus Day. And if I can't stand up and pee, he told me to sit down. And that's the truth. If you can't make it in the toilet standing up, sit down. Because that's what I'm telling you now. Even if you're 30 years old, sit down. Because this is getting old, man. If you can't make it in the urinal, that's not, if you can't sit down on a urinal. But if you can't make it in the urinal, go outside at this point. Because this is ridiculous. So, I guess I should ask is, I've had this argument with people. If you are outside on the res and you have an apple core, do you just throw it outside because it's biodegradable, or do you throw it away? Some people say, hey, it's biodegradable, don't matter. A bird's going to get it. Someone's going to get it. It's going to get recycled or whatever through the world or whatever. I personally, I'll throw an apple core outside if we're out in the woods. It's an apple. But as soon as you go to that line and start throwing plastic outside, that's like, hey, you don't got to do that. So, yeah, let me know which side you guys are on. I'm going to post a poll. I always like to see what people are, because there's some people who don't like to throw away anything. I actually know in some places in the world, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's either China or Japan that is one of the cleanest countries in the world. And they have, no garbage cans. People just carry around plastic bags with them. They bring their own garbage, throw it away at their house. And I think there's even a country that you can get fined for chewing gum. I'm going to look that up. I think it might be Singapore. Let's see. Okay, country that fines you for chewing gum. It is Singapore. According to Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's first prime minister, he was approached about chewing gum in the early 1980s by the Minister of National Development. So it is illegal to chew gum in Singapore. You know what? That's not really a bad idea. Banning gum, people's breath in Singapore, they probably got some alternative methods, maybe mints. You ask someone from Singapore, hey, do you like breath mints or chewing gum? They probably lean more towards the mints. Or, maybe there's underground people making gum. Because there's got to be some people making gum in Singapore. Country says, hey, no chewing gum allowed here. You think everybody's not going to chew gum? You think there's a black market of chewing gum over there in Singapore? A lot of risk takers in Singapore. I don't know if you've met any Singaporeans, but it seems to me they're pretty risk-taking people. Because I know there's gum enthusiasts out there. I'd like to hope there, ain't nobody out there chewing gum. It might even be a small fine. I don't know. But from the looks of it, if the U.S. said, hey, no chewing gum, I know people would be chewing gum. Especially nowadays. People would be putting it on their TikTok live of them just chewing stuff. Maybe it's a piece of gum, maybe it's Bubblicious or something. I don't know what it is, but people would be definitely chewing gum. I like gum. I think gum's good. Actually somebody gave me a piece of gum today in class. And that was nice. Giving gum to people, that's hey man, we're cool. It's a universal sign of you're cool. Or at least I'm trying to get to know you. Or appreciate what you're doing. I remember this is one of those low-hanging stories. This is, all right. There's low-hanging fruit jokes that you're oh, why? Like for an example, low-hanging fruit joke, for people who don't know, is some guy leaving the room on New Year's, and then the clock comes down and hits, and he's like, oh, I haven't seen you guys since last year. I, like everybody, have made that joke probably many times, but it's a low-hanging fruit joke. If you do it properly, it's funny. But low-hanging fruit jokes, if you do them wrong, they're just bad. Anyway, there's also low-hanging fruit stories. And what I mean by that is low-hanging fruit stories are stories that everybody's gone through, but you're just saying it just to get a couple nods. When used correctly, you could kind of build some rep between some people maybe. But other than that, it's just kind of repetitive. So I'll give you guys a low-hanging fruit story. Low-hanging fruit stories, like kind of what I did in the beginning of the pod. Talked about the cleats and talked about how you miss practice and your parents have to deal with it. That's a low-hanging fruit because a lot of people have dealt with it. If you think about it, most stories that are hilarious are pretty niche down and unique, right? So, like I was going to use for an example was like when you're in school and see, I can't even think of one right now. I actually have some low-hanging fruit stories according to DJP. Like now with this rule, if you go look at my pod, you could be like, oh, Dom does a lot of low-hanging fruit stories. But I'm trying to be better at it because it's annoying. And I've caught myself doing it. God, I'm really trying to think one. Like a low-hanging fruit story would be like, oh, when you're hanging out with your brother and you got to bring him along because everybody else had to bring their brother along. It's like an older sibling thing. Like those are just cheap jokes or, God, like I can't even think of them now. But those are unique or not unique. And that's what makes them low-hanging fruit stories. So if you're ever, if you're ever listening to somebody say something and you can just tell it's about to be like, oh, they're just trying to get a couple easy laughs. Low-hanging fruit story, dude. Yeah, I as soon as one comes to me, I apologize making this big old fucking thing, and then I can't even tell you what it is. Anyway, what's else been going on? I actually been eating pretty good lately. There's some good food around me. The rotation's getting back in order. I think my palate refreshed. That's always good. Football season's still here. It was National Boyfriend's Day today, actually. Tuesday, October 3rd, 8:08 p.m. Still relishing in it. Even though my girlfriend still tried to make it National Girlfriend Day at the same time. And what I mean is, I was like, all right, it's National Boyfriend Day. You can do whatever, kind of. I kind of get the pass. Kind of like when it's your birthday, it's like, hey, I want to do this. If I say I want to do nothing, don't ask me to do nothing. That's what I felt like today was. But then I got this is all jokes. So we laugh about this now. She's like, well, it wouldn't be a National Boyfriend Day if we weren't together. So it's also kind of National Couples Day in a way. And I kind of did it's not like that. Actually a little bit of a side note. I made some ice cream a while back. It was actually me and my girlfriend. We made chocolate chip mint ice cream. And I like making stuff. From as a kid, I used to never really like marshmallows because it was too sweet. But I loved making them. And same thing with ice cream. Like it's a cool process to learn how to make, but I can't eat ice cream. I can have almond ice cream or whatever, coconut milk ice cream, but that ain't the same. And as I am very thankful for those opportunities for vegan ice cream and all that kind of stuff, it don't taste the same. Anyway, I made some mint chocolate chip ice cream a while back. Not bad. But you know what it did remind me of? Here's the thing, if you ever make ice cream, don't go too heavy on the mint. And here's why. If you make ice cream and you go a little too heavy on the mint, it just tastes like toothpaste. And some people might even say that, like, oh, dry as mint ice cream. It already does taste like mint toothpaste. But me, I put a little bit of extra mint because I was like, oh, I like it when it's minty. You don't want it minty when it's ice cream. You want a hint of mint. So anyone who's out there making ice cream, it's also kind of a fun date, kind of giving you guys a layup here. If anyone's out there, like, fall ideas. You know, it's the time of year when girlfriends are saying, hey, what are we going to do for the fall, for date night? This is advice, you know, you can use this as I don't care what side you swing on or whatever. This is an idea here for your partner, your whoever you're with, whatever they associate as, whatever they are. Make some ice cream with them. It's fun, right? Pumpkin patch is a given. Movie theaters. What's another good one? Carving. Pumpkin carving, of course. Roasting the seeds, making some candy, making some caramel apples. You know, fall season's upon us. And some people like pumpkin spice lattes. Some people like pumpkin spice anything. I know squashes kind of start walking in houses and sitting there, and people don't really eat them for a while. But me, man, what's my favorite fall food? This is one of my favorite questions. My favorite fall food's caramel apples, dude. And caramel apples have to be the green apples. If you put caramel on an apple that's not green, I'm not friends with you. And I don't know. I had someone ask, hey, you know, what's your favorite type of caramel apple? I'd be like, the green one. This person said the most outrageous apple you could ever choose. The yellow delicious apple is a caramel. I haven't tried it. The yellow apples are too mushy for caramel apples. That's what makes the caramel apples when you have that bite and that tartness of the green to go with the caramel. I could be wrong. I'd like to try them all. But yeah, there's some date ideas for you guys. I'm just thankful to be here, man. I mean, I've been having a good time. I hope everyone else has been doing good, whatever they're at, whatever they're doing. But fall's upon us, man. It's fall time. It's caramel apple season, dude. It's caramel apple season. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Wait.